What is going on, everyone? I wanted to make this quick tutorial. It's going to be an overview of my template, but it's going to be kind of like an overview on how to progress in Ableton without getting burned out. Like how do you open up Ableton and just start working and creating ideas? And because I find one of the hardest parts is just starting. If anyone can relate with that, because sometimes you just go with like a sample or you build a drum beat that you like, or you find some sound and you're like, oh cool, let's build something off of this, and you end up not really getting much out of it because you there's not really like a structure, and it's not a reproducible system. So I made this template a while ago and I iterated a lot. And so let's get right into it. This is how I play stuff like this. That's how we're going to get this done. And so I'm going to overview this. I'm not going to go too in detail because there's a lot of routing and other stuff involved with the gain staging and looping and such. And so, super happy to go over more in detail if you pop some questions into the comments. And be sure to like and subscribe if you want me to do a series on this and like build a full template out, kind of like this. So I use an MPK. I use a Launchpad, and I use a Launchcontrol to control everything you see here. I have these 8 instruments, and you can see that I actually have a circle around them. That means that my Launchcontrol is currently on those. Okay, cool. So as you can see, I have these 8 instruments over here. I have arcade. I have an audio. I have an audio where arcade is feeding into it with a looper. I have contact, I have a piano, I have my audio, which is just another looper that is getting fed from arcade. I have my vocal chain here that I can loop that has some stuff on it, harmony and things that I can control to just, make the performances much more fun, much more organic, and give me control, because that's the name of the game. Is you want to be able to control Ableton like an instrument rather than just a production tool. So I have a bass on the next one, and then another sub if I'm doing something more hip hoppy or bassy that needs those really low sub frequencies. And then I have one more audio channel for arcade, because arcade is just really good at making sweet layers on top of the other instruments I do. And so just to get a little taste of how easily I can kind of switch around between things is, so I have my Launchcontrol and I can just turn it on with one press, and you can see that I'm turning it on just with one little press, because everything is already pre-mapped in terms of what the Launchcontrol is controlling. I haven't really set anything up except for some knobs that are controlling effects and stuff on the user page. Same thing with the Launchpad. I'm able to launch loops with just one button on the Launchpad, and I'll kind of show you some of that as well a little bit later. But I just want to show you that everything on my Launchpad is totally controlled by me. And so if I press this, you'll notice that on Ableton it is now looping. And so that's a MIDI mapping that I have done, that I have taken the time to create. And so this is kind of, if you plan out how you want to work with Ableton beforehand, instead of opening it up and just starting to just throw samples and stuff in there, if you kind of have a thought process of, okay, I want this instrument, I know I want this instrument, I know I want this instrument, and just create a template with that, every time you open Ableton, it's going to open to that. And that's going to be really powerful, because then you can just open and start going instead of searching for things, and you can kind of begin to build a sound much quicker, and it's more fun. And that's why we're here. We're here to make music, and we're here to express ourselves. So moving on, I'm going to go over to this other side here. You could see there's just a buttload of samples over here. And I actually can control those as well with my Launchpad here. So you can see that I can just click whatever I want, right? And you can notice that I have them muted right now just because I'm not trying, you don't really need to hear what it is, but I also have control over those mute states from the Launchpad. I've mapped those myself. Pretty simple to do, but I'm happy to go over that in more detail. And so you can kind of see I'm just able to bounce around with drum loops and different ideas really quickly to just have fun and expedite the process of creating music, of just creating a vibe and starting to go, because I have a piano, I have a bass, and then I can pull drums from arcade, I can pull vocals, I have drums here. And so, don't limit yourself by thinking you need to create everything right from scratch. You can always change the bottom drums from whatever you want. And this will ultimately help you not get burned out because you're going to be able to open up Ableton and just start going and creating. And you're not really limiting yourself by thinking that you don't have these expansive places you can go. So I hope this is helpful. And if you liked what I went over and are interested in learning more about what exactly is happening here, I'm super happy to show you. Please drop me a comment, and if you want me to go into anything else, I'm here to make some more videos, so please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be making more. I have a bunch of ideas, but as always, if you guys have something you want, please let me know. Thank you.